Great Rod isn't, y'all. Great Rod isn't. Yes, indeed. I'm looking at the cameras, y'all. I'm getting better. Get your mats. Get your weights. Line up if you're walking wall to wall. Line up if you're walking wall to wall. Jump on your bikes if you got your bikes. Get ready to get on your treadmill. Thank you for the company. Yeah, I'm old enough now. I'm getting Velcro from now on. I am definitely going the Velcro way. Soon enough, I'm being slippers. Can't wait. I was in heels for such a long time, y'all. Great Rod isn't. But it's a little muggy and it's a little cloudy and it's a little this, a little that. But thanks for coming on the walk. Y'all like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell an auntie, tell an uncle, tell a cousin. Let's get this walk started. Yeah, y'all. I don't know, until November, y'all may have to just come and watch my feet. Watch my feet. Just watch my feet. And put your headsets on. You ain't gotta listen to me. But I know that me moving can encourage you to move. But what I'm saying can be listened by all, but liked by few. Such is my life. So, Great Rod isn't. In my head, you know what I see? I see my apples falling to the ground. So I'm going to bring in my other backdrop, my fall backdrop. Then I got to find my Halloween, the one I put underneath. This is green now, but I had the Halloween lower backdrop. So we're going to go back to that. And but I see the apples falling from the sky. I see everybody, they ripening, the water softened up all the ground. So I had to, most of my life, not knowing what I was fighting until this age, but I often had to look at birds and say, boy, the birds always find food to eat. So why wouldn't humans? I would have to say, look at the squirrels when the trees fall down, but they just find another tree, another place to live. But they always find another place to live. So that's what I had to use as my gauge. I had to use the whales in the sea as my gauge. How big they are. How many, oh my gosh, so many fish they eat. I don't know, in a day, but so many. They just open their mouth. School of fish, and they're fed. And I said to myself, why am I always afraid of running out? Where does this come from? Who planted this in me? Where did this come from? For surely nature is showing me every day. We have cats that's in the backyard. She has had at least 8 litters since we moved here. I see in the wintertime how they lay out in the sun and warm their fur. And they can get through the summer. They can get through the winter. I see how they find the shade and the hide in the summer. Their coats get... Nature does all that for them. They don't be frightened. Oh my goodness, my coat is not enough for me. It's going to get cold. It's already in place. So I said to myself, well, where's this fear? And then when we had that toilet paper thing, I gotta tell you, I was never without it. And I wasn't afraid of being without it. Because I was like, hell, you always find something to wipe your ass with. But I'm like, where does this fear come from? So I said, maybe it's African American. Because of enslavement times. And we didn't have enough. That's why we have to have so much food in the cabinets, etc., etc., etc. Maybe it comes from there. But it didn't do that connection. I look back on it, but we always had enough. I mean, my grandmother took care of 13 of her grandchildren, with her daughters helping as much as they could. But she had the house, and she had the flow. And she did it. Yeah, she bought day-old bread, but she never bought day-old milk, and we always had milk because my cousins was always stealing it and breaking it up. But she always managed to get more in. But she placed that fear. Now, here's again, with the cult thing, when my grandmother was African American, she knew it would always be stuff. She knew how to make, as I can, something out of air. Air, I can just... So, that's what she does. As an African American. But when she was into her cult, everything was running out. And if God and Jesus didn't help, then it would all be gone. So, I didn't understand that so much then. When I was younger, I didn't understand it so much. But I understand it now. And that's how the fear gets put in. It's through the cults. And it was through my interactions with cults. I am so glad I've kept my daughter's interaction with the cults to a minimal. That's where the fear comes in. I told you once I established that they was cults, my nightmares went away. Fear walked right out. Walked right out. Blood pressure went down. Weight started going down like I wanted to go. So scared of being fat, scared of being skinny. Scared. And I was, where does that come from? When my grandmother was a cult leader, she was always threatening lightning should strike us. That one day, without knowing, we won't know anything, lightning will come down and just, we're gone. And that's God, because you did something wrong. Well, you go into science and you look at it and you say, that's not what it is. Why would you say that? Why would you put fear? But again, that's cults. So you better go to church and you better pay your tithes, because if you don't pay your tithes, that bolt of lightning gonna come down and get you. No one is spared. Doesn't matter how good your work is. At any moment, if God and Jesus just feel like it, they're gonna smite you down. Don't matter if you're good, how good you do. My grandmother's gone. How good you do her. That's why you got to keep trying. So then that hit me too. I said, well, am I going to keep trying to get into heaven and all that kind of stuff if you done already told me that I was born as a bastard and a sinner and a loser? That's what I been asking my time. Why? 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 Why are you giving your money to these people who obviously hate you? It says it in their good book. They look down at you through your nose. They're judgy people. Exactly. Why do you? What is it? So deep inside. I didn't know what it was called. But now I know what it's called. I call it that. And it's right for me. Like I was thinking yesterday. I remember when I lived in Mount Vernon, they had 469 cults. Baptist cult, Methodist cult, Presbyterian cult, Catholic cult, Jewish cult. I think they had an Islamic, but not a lot. Apostolic faiths, Iglesias, and they're, whoo. And guess what they also had? Gangs. Gangs. And when I lived there, I couldn't understand why all these gangs. And I remember I went to all, remember I didn't know they were cults then. In my mind, they were churches, unification, saving soul, blah, 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 blah. So, I remember when the gang violence in Mount Vernon was all-time high. They said what their year, maybe 10, 15, and it was just on the south side. It didn't. So I started calling the churches. There was voicemails. I started writing. And I was basically saying, listen, y'all, I used to be going to church. Y'all always call for people to come through. These folks is dying and shooting each other up, crying on the corners. Why y'all churches ain't going out there and getting these folks and bringing them in? No one ever called me back. When the ones that I spoke to in the church said, you know, we do have programs and they can come in if they want to. And I still didn't understand. Now, you look at it from cults, from all you learn. And I was so drawn to cults that I couldn't understand why. And then I had to understand it. I was like, uh-huh. My first cult book I read was Helter Skelter. And I was like 20-something, 21, 22. And I was like, oh. And I was like, how could I feel a connection to that? That's, ugh. How could I feel? It was the followers. It was a blind following. But I said, no, that's the cult. This 1,000-member churches, these big churches, these churches, that's something different. Nothing, it's all the same. It's all the same. And you got to be on the bottom. That's the whole thing of a cult. You have bottom people. Then you have, look at the whole enslavement system. That's the cult system. That's your church, you call church. That's your church system. You know that bum that comes off the street that cries, or that drug addict that comes off the street and cries, or that mother, single mother scuffing, suffering, trying to make it with her kids, and coming to the cults. Oh, sorry, y'all call them churches, temples, and mosques. They come to the cult, and the cult embraces them, and loves them, and wants them to come in, and helps them. And I often wonder, why for these new people coming in? Now, people who've been there, they don't get that treatment. You get to do stuff, do this, got to do this, got to do, always free. That's how cults work. They're not paying. And I used to hear people complain, oh, you know, that church, they never want to pay up there. It's a cult, they don't pay. They want free laborers. Jeez. Free labor is their thing. Enslavement, someone say? Free labor is their thing. That's what these cults do. So I said, why don't you come get the kids and heal them? They're like killing each other. And they didn't do it. And I was like, wow. Wow. Then I used to say, how can you call yourself a Christian and you walk down the street and you pass these young people? Or you even pass your son, you can't get your son to come. Why? Why is that with your church? Why is he out here harassing us while you're sitting in church? No, you picked a cult, and he basically picked a cult. We call it a gang just because they're violent. But they're organized the same way. There's bottom people and there's top people, just like the churches, just like the cult. I guess you could say like anything, like the pyramids. So they weren't going like that, because if their parents were not at the church paying tithes, they were not going out there to try to find new members. That was the old days. Or, that's the Mormons. Let me tell you something. I saw Mormons in Mount Vernon on the south side all the time. They would be up and down those streets when I wouldn't be up and down those streets walking. They were trying to find the ones, but no, they wasn't stupid enough to go around gangs, or when they started crying and putting out bottles and stuff like that, they wasn't that kind of crazy. And apparently neither were the churches. But, okay, going back to my point. There's a connection. My mother goes to a cult. I go to a gang. The cult is her family, and the gang is my family. She gives all her money to the cult, and I help my gang make money. She helps her cult make money. She don't have time for me because I'm not in her cult. I don't have time for her because she's not in my gang. Look at the ratio. 460-something churches. I remember when they first reported on it. It was during the election of the mayor. And it's reminiscent of the situation with private citizen Trump. So, I'm trying to stay on course. I don't want to talk about private citizen Trump until the second half. Because we're just like almost getting ready to go into our 20 minutes. Look how fast that is. Like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin. When it gets cool, I said I was going to try to find, because I own stuff, so I have a half-hour public access show that I own that I can run. I can play, and then it'll be cooler. I can put the fan on me. I can open up the window, which I do every morning. And then I can not use so much energy talking to you, but then I can focus my energy and getting on my walk. Right now, I can't do both. It takes a lot of energy to walk and talk for 45 minutes. But once I don't gotta talk, then I can take all that energy. All this energy stays inside. And then I can use it for a workout, for a walkout. I don't gotta say anything. I just listen to my show like y'all do. Also have a podcast. I can listen to the podcast while we walk. So I'm just waiting till it gets cooler. And that way, when my lungs start expanding and I suck in that cool air, I love that. Hey y'all, 20 minutes, get some water, take a bathroom break. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking, oh yeah, just moving, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, so happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking, oh yeah, just moving, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, so happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking, oh yeah, just moving, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, so happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Oh yeah, ha ha. Yes. Let's wrap this walk up, y'all. Alright, hell yeah. Got a little sweat going, but I got the fan on me. I think I'll put this fan on too. Just cause the air is a little cool this morning and it feels really, really nice. Yes! Here we go. So, that's what came to me. I could be wrong, the correlation of cults and gangs, but I don't think I am. And I gotta tell you something. You know the dog that you send to attack people? Not me, but the city. And then you gotta get the dog and you bring it back home, and then the dog attacks you. That's exactly what's going on here in this country with the GOPQ, Tea Party, conservative cult leaders. They call themselves politicians and they're all in government. But they're cult leaders. And all cult leaders want to do is control, make you work free, and get the money. That's what they all are. See, everybody else is on the bottom. And they're on the top. So I have to say now, I have to ask you, vote Democrats in, vote Republicans out. Vote Tea Party members out, and vote conservatives out. And I'll tell you why I say that. Hit me this morning so hard I almost fell out the chair. In my years of being on this earth, and the best part about working in the library, and anyone can tell you, I would come home with books and books and stay up all night long reading. And when America would go in, as they say, to help the people, get rid of bad government, the first thing they would do is go after the elections. The first thing they said the CIA, all these agents and stuff would do, first thing they would do is they would go in and they would start messing with the elections of that country. America used to pick who they wanted to run the country, but that they said the people wanted. Now we know from experience it's not true. Right now they're telling us, well, we want a GOP, Tea Party, conservative. They're saying, oh, we want open and fair elections. But then in the district where they have that power, they're redistricting, they're closing polls. The Constitution of the United States gives us all born here, or who becomes naturalized citizens, the right to vote. It's right there in the Constitution. But the GOPQ/Tea Party/conservatives, they don't want that. Matter of fact, they're trying to make a citizen a monarch. They used to do that when they went to foreign countries. They picked who they wanted. And they've taken private citizens and put them into office. And that's what they're trying to do here. And then they're just trying to get any old private citizen. They trying to get Al Capone, the Iceman, the Sneeze, the Good Boys, all the capos, rolled into one private citizen. And that's who they have decided. That was their pick. Now let me tell you another side. The pig is an entertainer. He's an entertainer. He goes out entertaining. He tells jokes. He talks about people and makes his jokes. He talks about people and makes his jokes. And soon, at one of his performances, they say he's going to start taking out pies and throwing it in people's faces. So that will really get those seats filled. He's an entertainer. He used to be an apprentice, right? And that's who they have decided, and obviously government entities will be allowed into America's political arena. Vote them out. If you vote them out, the people that they have there, because they have favors, that's why you have to vote them out, because of the favors. You have to vote in people who have no example. The judge, that the private citizen, when he was the president of the United States, he put in a judge. When he became a private citizen and was charged with wrongdoing, basically asking why you got all these papers, he's a private citizen, but the judge owes him a favor. So the judge sided in his favor. The whole thing is playing out also in South Carolina with the Murdochs. He's in jail now. They finally got him in there. But he got favors. He called in favors. He's a private citizen too. He's calling in judge favors. He's calling in investigation agency favors. And those folks owe him because they helped him. Private citizen Trump has a lot of friends, as they say, in high places. And they are indebted to him. So that's why I'm asking you to put Democratic candidates there. They don't owe them nothing. They didn't put that judge in office. That judge has no obligation to them. But she just needs to stick to her judgeship and stop the tomfoolery, because everybody can go to jail. And quite a few judges need to be rounded up and thrown in jail. In private citizen Trump case, and in Murdoch's case also. That's why I'm asking you to vote in Democrats. Also, we need to put judges in the Supreme Court, because again, it's full of cults. He even knows. How well planned can that be? He even knows that after it gets passed, because the judge said some kind of master porter has to come in and get all these papers and authenticate it and blah, 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 and it could take years. But he's not worried about that, because he feels that he has enough people who owe him favors in the Supreme Court to bail him out. I'm asking you to vote Democrat so we can get some other justices in, some justices that are Democrats, some justices that are independent, some justices that are green, and you call it fair. Right now, Trump's private citizen Trump has enough Supreme Court justices to kick out any criminal act that could be brought against him. now. But if you vote Democrat, fill up the House, fill up the Senate, then we can add more judges and even out the Supreme Court. Right now, it's all cult leaders. It's all under cult control. GOPQ hyphen slash Tea Party slash conservative. It's all of them. It can't be that. They don't believe in women voting. They don't believe in blacks voting. They don't believe in women controlling their own body. What, there's 2 women there, 3 now? If that's how we got to do it, that's how we got to do it. That's what I'm asking you. Vote all of those ones out. Don't let them in on the state level. Don't. They're very poison, very venomous. They probably were always like that, but we never noticed. But when they turned around on us, they said you can steal, you can lie, you can cheat, and you can still be ahead of the country. And I'm not talking about Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a politician. He's a politician. He works for us. He works for us. Private citizen. Doesn't work for us. He works for himself. But President Joe Biden works for us. He's not getting anything out of it other than a salary and to keep this country moving forward, to save the Constitution. I can't believe how many people are just, oh yeah, get rid of the Constitution. African Americans know that if we didn't have a Constitution to read, they would have still had us enslaved. We'd have still been on enslavement compounds. But once we read the Constitution and said, hey, wait a minute, whoa, 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 stop this, this is bullshit, you cults. And the cults said, no, you're heathens, we want to save your soul. So y'all work for us for free. It's what God wants. And women, I don't understand it. I know how hard my mother struggled. And she had to pay a lot of ain't got no man tax until she got a boyfriend. But we done paid the ain't got no man tax out here to stand on our own. Okay? Ain't got no man tax. We ain't no rib. We're not a rib. And she knew she wasn't to blame for all the problems of the world. I was listening to something, that Hulu show. Honk with Regina King. See, I know first ladies. I used to look at that first lady in the cult, and when I thought about it, and as I got older, I said, how did you sit there and let your husband molest all the girls in the church? How you had to know. So when I was looking at Regina King, I said to myself, oh, Lord have mercy. That movie. I said, looky here, looky here. I don't say Lord have mercy anymore. That's just a throwback. Ugh. I try to keep those cold words out of my mouth, but that's how they are. I used to watch our cult leader's wife. She was dressed the same way with the hats, and she was light-skinned, and she had a little skinny thing, because everybody else in the church was like big, and she was a little skinny, dainty thing with long fingernails, looked just like the lady, first lady in the movie. Looked just like her, acted just like her, like nothing happened. She there for her husband and her man, and they got a good life in this cult, and she there by him, and the daughter is there by him, and every Sunday and during the week, he's there, rubbing, touching, feeling, kissing, groping. She don't see nothing. Just like the lady in the movie. She there for her man. It ain't got nothing to do with religion. That's how I tell you, it's a cult. She is there to support her man. He's the pastor, she's the first lady. She wants to keep that position. She wants to keep her man where she is, and that's the way it is. It made me think, though, of my sister's church. When they found out that the pastor had maybe 3, 4, 5 kids, literally, I think, I just remember laughing, saying, oh my goodness, like 5 baby mamas came. They were both reverends. Husband and wife. I think they had 8 kids, and like 5 women from the church came and said, oh, he my baby daddy. He my baby daddy. And then, as rumor had it, that's the 5, but there was like 3 or 4 more, like, so out of the church, out of the cult, he bred like 9 kids. But that's to be expected for cults. It was a Methodist cult, big old cult. But it's to be expected in cults. He's supposed to be able to pleasure himself with whatever woman he wants to. So, the 3 before, because I'm hearing this story for years, didn't get them to kick him out. Because he was light-skinned and good-looking, honey, and them women filled that church. Oh, I was supposed to say they was there seeking... seeking a man, honey. Only women can sit down for 3 or 4 hours and listen to a man talk about nothing but other men. And how wonderful and powerful all these men are. Men can't sit there and listen to that unless you're talking about them. They're the jealous type. You'll see the deacon say, yeah. But but he has a position. He's a deacon. So he said, yeah, we powerful men. And all the ladies sit there and the congregation say, yes, I come on you to Sunday to get my dose of talking about men. I have no men in my house. I have no men in my life. But I'll come on Sundays and hear you talk about how wonderful, powerful, vengeful, murderous men are. Yes. So that's why the women fill up the podium. And if the cult leader really wants to get them going, he'll make reference to them being really low people. Like the prostitutes that that namesake used to hang out with. And they call them loose and tell them how they don't know how to take care of their kids and that offering plate fills up. Because he also tells her, the more money you give, the more you will not have to take that burden. Accept that burden. Because you ain't got a man in your life. And you take care of your kids. And you're kind of loose. The loose sermon can get that plate filled all the way up. Yes, it can. Whew. Come on, y'all. This in-between weather is not working out well for me. Let's do 10, neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at me. I done just in 45 minutes talked about the 2 topics that they say you ain't not supposed to talk about. Cults and politics. Lies. Basically, the cults are saying that. The politicians, they talk about us. All right, neither up nor down. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1 for the Whew. Well, whew. It's hot. It's humid. This is weather that makes fruit falls off trees. Please walk in. Thank you for the company. This weather makes fruit fall off trees. And whew, thick air. Whew. Walk in. Yes, indeed. Also, I'll be 65 this year. Ha 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 ha! Proudly. Yeah! I love this body. I love my body. Yes! So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. It is humid. Humid. Oh, hairs are falling off. Everything is coming ripe and good. Okay. Y'all know I had a little bit when I did my break. Please like, comment, share, tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Talking and passing the time away. Except on that, yeah, y'all please vote Democrat. Got to pull them men's hands from under our skirt. Whew. Oh. Remember when we wanted a lot of women GYN because it was so horribly uncomfortable. And then some women liked it. They used to tell me, "Ooh, I love going up there, spread my legs." And I was like, "Ugh." All right, let's get this down. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh yeah, yes, I'm walking. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I know now they have sonograms and shit. So yes, I am happy about this part of my life. Oh, it's just grand. Did I tell y'all I'm starting of course, y'all know I'm writing my memoirs when I go west for a month. So I need to set everything up, chapters and all that kind of stuff, so I can, the context, so I can put all the stuff in. Let's do this. I hope I'm saying the right words. Ha! It's humid. So I'll be doing that, and I'm excited about that. And excited about going west next year. And I am free. I am free. I just kept saying, just put me down easy. I didn't want to. It's just wonderful. This body is still going. Yeah, it's hot, it's humid, I'm sweating and shit. But I love this body. Let me pull it up. I was never allowed to love before. When I went through the cult guidelines that was so deep ingrained within me. The flesh is weak, but the soul don't trust the right. Yeah, you're gonna get sick. Yeah, you're gonna get this. Yeah, your body gonna do this. Yeah, your body gonna turn it. I kept saying, but no, it's not. No, it's not. Yes, indeed. And it hasn't. Ha ha ha! Yeah. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy. Best time of my life. Best time being on this earth. All those years. The best years are yet to come. The best years. Yes, I'm in them now. And more is yet to come. Better, best. Yes, indeed. I'm walking. Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm walking. I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Uh-oh. Thank you for the company. Like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell an auntie, tell an uncle, tell a cousin, tell a friend. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow morning. But for now, like, comment, share. Have a wonderful thing. Oh boy, what am I going to do through? Have a wonderful day. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks for coming on the walk.